Yeah, after this video, I'm gonna hit the hay. You know, it doesn't make sense. So why they call it if you're hitting the hay? You're not physically hitting the hay unless you like beating up hay, which is pretty messed up because hay didn't do anything to you. I don't get it. I really don't. Water. What's up, guys? It's Daily Doses of Zach, back to another video, and today we're talking about why you should fail now and succeed later. So the one thing people misconstrued about success is the failure aspect of it. Like, people, they don't understand that a lot of these super famous rich people who have billions of dollars, people who have been on many TV shows, people who write songs, people who paint, they've all failed multiple times before they were even able to like succeed once. It takes a really long time to be able to be successful, and when you are successful, you have failed more times than you have to succeed. That's why I believe that you should fail now, succeed later. Because then if you fail now, you learn. That's why I think the art of failing is super, as ridiculous as it sounds, the art of failing is super important. Basically what the art of failing is, you have to learn from your mistakes. It's literally like learning from failure. That's pretty much what it is. Like, you recognize that something you failed at, learn why you failed at it, and then also another thing about the art of failing is not just learning from your own failures, but learning from other people's failures as well. That's one thing the aircraft industry does really well, is that they have this black box that's like virtually indestructible with like captain's recordings and all that. Basically what it is that when a plane like crashes or stuff, they pick up the box and they listen to what went wrong, and they take that and they implement it into a lot of other aircrafts. Well, they don't implement the sound, but they implement what went wrong and try to fix that, and then implement the fix into other aircrafts so it does not go wrong. I think there was some crazy statistic that only 1 out of every 2.4 million aircrafts crash. I think that's what it was. It might have went down, actually, to be completely honest with you guys, but it's something like that. The reason why they're so successful in this is because they've had a lot of failures before that hand to be able to be in that type of position. One reason why the medical industry actually has a lot of failures is because they don't learn from their mistakes. That's one thing that's super big that I think a lot of people need to realize. You don't just grow from learning on your own mistakes. That takes way too long. By the time you make a mistake and then learn from it, it'll already be like a while before you actually realize that you've learned from that. That's why you have to learn from other people's failures and then follow in their success. If that makes sense to you guys. 1 out of every 10 patients will suffer a medical complication because of a doctor. That was preventable. That is a crazy statistic. Like 1 out of every 10, that's 10%. That's pretty high. I mean, if you compare that to the aircraft industry, it's insane. And one reason why, or actually a huge reason why, is because they treat mistakes like taboo, like almost like taboo. Like you don't bring up mistakes or any of that. You just label it as a complication. They don't label it as like, this doctor messed up, he could have done this and this and this. They label it as like a mistake, one of like, this is only gonna happen once, and then just push it off. That's why the airplane industry has way less like crash rates in the medical history and their like medical failures, you know. It's crazy. And I was actually reading this book. It's called The Black Box Thinking. It's like basically teaching you to learn from other people's mistakes as well as your own. And that's actually where I got this idea from. But anyways, we're getting off topic here. Like, learning so much from mistakes is able to push you to become really successful. I mean, you see this in Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, name it, anyone successful, and I guarantee you they have had to go through failures to then become successful. That is the one thing a lot of people do not understand. You have to fail to be successful. That's why a lot of people nowadays, they're living like an average life because they're doing average things. They're not taking risks. They're not taking those big jumps forward that could either like potentially be a risk. They don't want to take it because they want to live safe. When you live safe, you don't make mistakes. When you don't make mistakes, you don't learn. When you don't learn, you don't become successful. I mean, it's just one crucial thing after another, you know? So then it goes mistakes, and then you learn, and then you realize how to incorporate your learning into being successful, and then you succeed. It does not happen overnight. I think that is one thing I keep on stressing, and I don't think I'm a successful person yet, but I'm definitely on the road to hopefully becoming successful, you know? I'm learning a lot through taking risk and taking necessary risks, not just unnecessary risks, but necessary risks that will help me push myself forward, you know? Getting out of your comfort zone. That's why actually getting out of your comfort zone is super important. Like I said, people with average lives do safe things, you know? I mean, it makes sense. It really does. So, I mean, tell me what you guys think of this. Thank you guys so much for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you like it, and give it a thumbs up if you dislike it. But comment, rate, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. And this is probably my last video of the night, so I'll probably hit the hay, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.